Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Unapologetically Joey. Basically, it's just me venting and talking about my life and using this as therapy for everything I've went through, what I've put myself through, and what other people have put me through. So, my background, I came from not much. I had two older parents, Catholic family, as you can imagine. His, hers, and theirs, 10 kids in the family. Um, Born meager means we were Lake County folk. I like how I said that, folk. We lived out over the bridge to Lake County, but I always consider myself a DeLand person. I went to Umatilla through 8th grade, but, eventually made the big move and jump and went to DeLand Middle School and DeLand High School. Still have a lot of great Umatilla friends, great people, just salt of the earth. Growing up in DeLand, as a young kid, coming from not much, I always felt like I didn't belong. Um, there's a lot of people that, are well to do that I was friends with, and I always felt like I didn't belong. So I also hang out with some people that were in my level, maybe even lower. Never thought of them that way. Hung out at their house, felt very comfortable because I was used to it. I mean, I grew out in out Lake County and on a dirt road, and lived in a mobile home, and Um, probably why I am like I am today. I spend too much money on things trying to compensate for my childhood, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. I've got a lot of friends that tell me, who gives a crap what people think, Joey? And I said, yeah, you're right, but I do. I live my life that way, and unfortunately, it's bit me in the ass a few times. But I'm starting to listen. I'm starting to catch on. It only took me 56 years. Um, Probably a little too nice to everybody. They say I'm very nice, and I am, and I get taken advantage of, and that's fine. I sleep better knowing I didn't treat people bad, or I was not a good guy. I might get taken advantage of in the end, but you know what? It is what it is. I live hard, I love hard, and God, it's really helped me choose my path. Sometimes the wrong way, um, and I don't try to do things that aren't right or are, I guess, quote unquote wrong or perceived wrong. It just happens. It seems to find me, especially when it comes to love. Good Lord. Um, I've been blessed though that every single one of my exes, and I'm not going to define exes, every single one of my exes I am friends with still. Um, well, yeah, I won't go any further on that one, but for the most part, yeah, every single one of my exes I'm friends with. So I try to be, they were a chapter in my life, and there's no reason why you gotta burn the chapter. It is what it is, you live and you learn, and, you don't, um you don't dwell on it. Um, I've been dwelling on the last one for a while now, and I'm trying to get over it, and I'll get over it eventually. But, phew, what a life changer that one was. So, every girl I've had in the past has actually made me a better person, and I truly believe that. I've taken steps in the right direction. Who knows where I would be if I hadn't met the last couple. Um, I'd could be a miserable SOB sitting on a park bench with two nickels to rub together, or not two nickels to rub together. Um, but I am who I am, unapologetically Joey. Some people love me, some people don't like me, and I don't like that. And for a long time, I kept trying to figure out a way to make them like me. But you know what? If they're not going to like me, they're not going to like me. I can't dwell on it. I feel like it's their loss because I'm a good dude. Uh, do I sometimes Piss people off? I'm assuming I do. Hell, we all do. I've been pissed off. I've gotten over it. There's people that have pissed me off big time, and I would still help them if they called me right now. That's just the way we are, or I am. So, unapologetically Joey. Gotta learn how to say that better. What else? I love being part of this town. Um, I don't know if I can even call it a town anymore. It's getting so big, but I love being part of it. I love being part of the fabric of the land. I love helping out with the land football. I've been involved since one way or another since '84. Took off a couple of years, maybe here and there throughout things. But from football player to booster to coach and staff to booster again to friend of the program, you name it. I spent a lot of time with Deland football, and I've met a lot of great kids. I've met some turds too, but most of them are great kids. Um, some of them I just think the world of. I mean, some of them have become to me almost family. You know, over the years. I mean, your JoJo Kemps, your James Wards, your Hunter Fisher and Gardner Nordman, Christian Baez, Nicholas Booten, Brian Caswell, Tim Sandersfield, Proctor. There's a bunch of them. Yeah. Mitch Lane, Quinn Dawson, great kid. Joshua Adams. There's a bunch of them. Sco, Peaches. Um, um, Jeez, there's a bunch of them. I can't even think all the ones that I'm going to miss some, and I don't want to upset anybody, but there's a lot of kids. Hell, there's some that I thought the world of, and I don't think they liked me. And you know who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to bring it up. Um, Still like him. Great kid. Well, actually, he's an adult now. He's a full grown man. What else? Yeah, there's a lot of them. So, a lot of coaches I've been involved with helped. Loved most of all of them. Most. Some of them just were just mean SOBs, but it is what it is. But I have some favorites. But great times, great times. Love hunting. God, I love hunting. I started late in my life when it comes to hunting. I brother-in-law, long, rest in peace, George. Used to take us hunting when we were little boys, and me and his son Georgie, and we'd sit in the back of the truck and just lay on the dog box or the toolbox and hear the dogs run. But we were too young for anything. And then many years passed. I got into girls and football and whatnot, and um, didn't really get back into hunting until a guy I used to work for. He was my supervisor at work. Invited me to hunt at his place, and I killed a deer on the first sit, and I was hooked ever since. And hit the ground running dogs at first, and then started the business, and that kind of took over, and started still hunting on my own, which I loved a little bit more because I can just be by myself and think about things. And I've hunted all over the United States from Colorado, Kansas, Illinois, South Carolina, Alabama, Georgia, Florida. Um, I'm sure I'm missing some, but just love it. Absolutely love it. This will be the first year I don't get to hunt out of state, and it's killing me. But it is what it is. So got into hunting, and I love it, and it helped me build my business, which I started in 2009, I believe. Kind of started the grassroots of it, and here we are, 16 years later, and I think I'm killing it. Um, just And then I started getting back into fishing. I used to fish a lot too. Before I started hunting, I started fishing, and I would go, kayak fishing with the boys. Mark and Ezel, and got into that, and you know, that was a chapter in my life. And then I went away for a little bit, and now I'm back. And now here I am, all these years later, um, fishing like crazy. Been fishing with some friends, the Nordmans. We go offshore and shrimping, and I learned how to do a lot of more stuff that I used to do. And um, I don't know what's next chapter of my life, but I'm gonna keep doing it. All right, I'm gonna stop now. This is just a practice. I'm not sending this to anybody.